to my life. My name is Brennan, and joining me tonight is Nicole.
Yo, 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 check it.
Oh, Jesus. And Mom
Everybody
K.
in the 313. This is how it's going to go. Yeah.
I don't like it. I don't like this start. We got a host pick back around again. For those who haven't heard host pick episodes, it's where one of the hosts picks something that the others have to watch on a streaming service, and usually we do regular movies, but it doesn't have to be on this. Anyone can pick anything that's around movie length and free streaming. Doesn't matter what it is, we have to watch it. But this time we just went with a regular movie. It was Nicole's pick, and what did you have us watch, Nicole?
I had us watch the 2002 film 8 Mile, starring Marshall Mathers and Kim Basinger.
Marshall Mathers.
Have you seen this movie before?
No. I've never seen this movie before. I know all about it, as much as I could know about it, from just being a pop culture piece of art. But no, I haven't seen it before.
Okay. I know you've seen this before. Once or twice.
I'm a frequent watcher of 8 Mile.
It's a strange sentence. a frequent watcher.
When it comes on the regular TV, which I still have regular TV, cable or whatever, I can't not watch it.
I've never seen it come on TV before.
It came on the TNT, TBS.
Yes,
those kind of ones.
It was always Jumanji.
USA. It was always
Well, that was more very different movies.
That was more ABC Family freeform. I think that's where the Jumanji would come on more often. I like this. Actually, I don't. It's kind of dumb, but this is the summary for 8 Mile on this one. A story about the boundaries that define our lives and a young man's struggle to find the strength and courage to transcend them.
No.
That's Metacritic's summary for this movie. I'm like, it's about a guy whose life sucks and he raps. Like, I don't know.
They found like a generic something. This is the generic version of it because
it's so absurd sounding. I'm like, I don't think that's so extra sounding. It's just a guy and he lives in Detroit and he does rap battles and his life's not very good. Like that's my summary.
That's more descriptive than the other one. Yeah,
it gives you a closer feel of what you're actually going to be watching. This has a 75% on Rotten Tomatoes with a 54 audience score
what?
And it's the low 7s on IMDb and then the 77 Metacritic. Although Metacritic had that weird definition for this, so I don't really know if I want to trust their numbers. Which is all kind of lower than I thought. I thought this was like a beloved movie. I didn't realize. I've seen this before, several times, but I didn't realize this was not. It was just an okay in people's minds.
I thought it would have been less critically acclaimed and more audience score, but I'm surprised.
I would have guessed 80s both. I would have guessed both in the 80s if I had to guess. Like based on that's what I would have guessed if we were doing we should do that. We should do a Rotten Tomatoes guessing game sometime. That'd be good. See if how well we think we know the system.
I think that's a bad idea.
This is on Netflix right now. It's also probably on your TV if you have ancient cable or regular TV, whatever you called it. And we're going to get into spoilers now. So you haven't seen 8 Mile, Netflix, possibly on cable, and you could probably rent it on all the regular places. So
the Metacritic's already, we already know everything about it from that Metacritic.
I know. He transcends life or whatever.
Spoilers,
the fucking... Whatever they said he does. Nicole, why did you pick this? You had never seen it before. Yeah. What made you interested?
Well, to be honest, it was the first thing that came up on the Netflix for August 2022 search. But for new stuff. But when I saw it, I'm like, oh wow, I've actually never seen this before. And my curiosity about it was always Actually, one of my first questions I have for everyone, which we can get to, but really thought about this is the only film that I'm aware of that Eminem has done. And that was very curious to me of why he didn't continue if this movie was so bad or he was so bad. Like, I didn't know what it was going to be like. So that's why I'm kind of intrigued to see it. I also know that this is like really a popular film with people really in a large age range. People younger than me, people older than Mama K, even just a wide range of people that have seen this and know about it. And
who are we talking about now?
No. Yeah.
No, I just need to.
A wide range.
A wide range.
Wide range. I mean, damn, that's a lot of years in between.
That's supposed to be
older than me. Yeah, heck yeah, so many years.
Yeah. But that people know who Eminem is, and people really love his music and love his art and his style, and I was just really intrigued to see this since it's been out for what I now know 20 fucking years. Blows me away. So
is that why it's on Netflix right now? Like a 20th
maybe
anniversary.
Interesting.
Yeah,
but yeah. So,
I usually don't see it on streaming services. The last time I saw it, last time I actually watched it was probably on cable.
Yeah.
So
a
long time ago.
That's kind of
at my house.
Yeah,
exactly. Many years ago.
That's kind of what drew me to this, though. Just curious about his acting style, because we all know his music style, and we all know that he's very into the putting on the show, as we've seen him do so many things in his life before, just to really put a show on. So, I guess my first question to you guys is, I would like for everyone to kind of say if you like it. I mean, it sounds pretty apparent that Mama Kay likes this movie. She's seen it 100 times. But tell me why you like it, and if you think back to the first time you saw it, would you have expected that Eminem would do more acting things in his career, or why do you think this was a one-time thing, that he only acted this one? Do you think that this was really just his pride and joy and wanted to make this, or do you think that perhaps the people that produced this didn't think it worked out so well, or is it just something that was one story and that was the end of it? Because in my opinion, I didn't think he was that bad in it. I mean, the beginning was a little shaky, but when we built his character up a little bit, we got to see that, he really was struggling. I think he fell into that role pretty well. And I think that he would have had a decent career of acting in different things. So, just curious what you guys think.
I guess I didn't realize that he hasn't been in other things, but you're right. I haven't seen him in anything else. I'm assuming that's the case. I mean, my guess is that this was, even though I understand that he doesn't like to talk about it being like a autobiographical, it's clearly autobiographically,
Yeah, it's got
background.
Tons of
it's literally him living with his mom in a trailer park. I mean, I don't know that they lived in a trailer park, but I get that things were rough for him growing up, and Detroit looked pretty spot on for Detroit. So the first time I watched it, I think I was kind of mesmerized. Honestly, I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know if I was going to like it. I don't dislike rap music. I like a lot of it. But I don't think that I was ever, Eminem's style is so different from like regular rap. The beat of it is so strange. And so it was kind of hard for me to really say that I like that style of rap music. And I think that was part of it. But, for me, it was the rap battles that made this what it was. The storyline was like, yeah, I feel like I know this story, and it, and I'm sure there was a lot of liberties taken and stuff, but it fleshed out the good part of the story for people who don't know about his life. It's not like I feel like now you're going to be like, do you have Eminem biographies on your shelf? I'm like, no, I don't even have like anything like that. And is he on my iPod? Probably. But
iPod.
Yeah, so
basic cable.
Basic cable iPod. So yeah, that's what we're talking about here. Coke classic. So did I answer your question? I think that the first time I was surprised that I liked it as much as I did, because I did really like it. And being able to see some people as the movie goes, as it's 20 years is fleshed out, you start to like Anthony Mackie now. He's all about, he's all Marvel. And I look back and I'm like, oh, he was just like baby Papa Doc in this, and I don't think anybody else has ever said baby Papa Doc. Yeah, his parents have a real good marriage. So,
I recognize that.
Yeah, I mean, he was a baby then, right? Because this is 20 years ago. So, but I knew Mekhi Phifer, and I didn't realize how bad he was at rap until I saw this movie, because he's pretty bad.
Does he rap in this?
He does. There's when they go down to that. He raps when they're right before they get into the beef with oh my God, what's the other rap?
The Free World.
Not the 313. The Free World. Yeah, right before they get into that that parking lot beef.
In the parking lot one? Yeah.
Yeah. Right at, the thing happens with Rabbit at the beginning where he chokes at the shelter, and then they go and Future's trying to bring him back into the world. And so Future starts rapping to get Rabbit in there to rap. So, and I
don't remember him even rapping. I must have blacked it out.
It didn't really sound much like rapping. It was a lot like talking. So, yeah. So Brennan, your thoughts?
So my thoughts. I whenever I think of this movie, I think of the last 15 minutes. I think of the rap battle the 3 rap battles all back to back to back, and at the end are what I think of. The last one's obviously the best, but I like all of them. The rest of the movies, lots of stuff that I forgot about. A couple of stuff that was like clever writing bits that I didn't maybe give enough credit for, because I don't know. Whenever I watched this the first time, I don't remember watching. I don't remember watching this the first time. I remember watching parts of this, and I probably pieced it together from watches before I ever saw the whole thing. And by the time I saw the whole thing, I'd seen almost all of it. So it's one of those kind of like, you didn't ever. I never gave it a full shake when I first saw it. I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think of more stuff outside of just the rap battles, because like, I mean, there's some weird that's things. That's the stuff here that I liked in this. Yeah,
there's some stuff that doesn't really add much for me. I mean, the other dude getting shooting himself in the leg, like
Cheddar Bob.
All that.
I actually like that. I kind of like that scene.
Well, first time on first watch, I'm like, all right, there's just a lot of filler in here. Movie's an hour and 50 minutes long. I always thought that the Mom Spaghetti song was in the movie. I thought he rapped it at the rap battle, but that was surprising to learn that was not a part of the rap battle.
No. That's not, because rap battles are different than rap. I mean, rap battles.
Yeah, rap battles are much more.
After I started to think about it, I'm like, he's not really dissing anybody in that, so it doesn't really make sense for it to be in the battle,
except for himself. Like, there's vomit on my sweater already. So, yeah.
But yeah, I actually think I agree with you. There seems to be some things that could be probably forgettable as as the years go by of watching this, and then the most important things are the rap battles, and I think the scene where we see his love interest is maybe not as faithful as we thought she was. That's pretty important.
That's one thing I was curious to go back this time, was focusing in on what happens between him and Wink through the whole movie, because that's something that like you don't pick up on when you're watching it on TV in 15-minute intervals every once in a while. You just watch, the lunch truck rap battle, and then you see the scene where him and Brittany Murphy have sex in the place. But I never see the Wink parts. And like Wink, like if you had told me he was like what his part was in this movie before I had like rewatched it, I'm like, oh yeah, he's he's like a good guy, and then like he betrays them, and then he's on Free World's side, and I'm like, that's all I remember. I didn't remember like any like he's like a poser, and he's trying to like get everyone's. He's always trying to do like fake deals, and then he fucks Brittany Murphy later on, which I still don't really. That doesn't quite make sense to me. Her character, I don't quite.
I don't get why. I don't get her either. Like, where does she come from?
Is she just like kind of
walk down the street because her brother works at New Disjoint Tamp?
Is she just kind of like pre-manic pixie dream girl, like before that? Because I don't know how much agency her character has.
What is manic pixie dream girl?
How have we never done that? We've never talked about manic pixie dream girl. I think Garden State's the first one that people think of, the Natalie Portman character in that. Its character comes in and she's whimsical and free-spirited, and she serves the purpose of getting the mediocre sad boy protagonist to rise to the occasion or realize he has self-worth or something, and then she disappears at the end of the movie. She goes off and does something else.
Yeah, there's that, but she's also part of the reason why... She's part of the reason, though, why there's a beef between 313 and Free World. I mean, that's part of because Wink joins their crew, and Rabbit beats up Wink, and the whole. I don't know that. But what does she want? Honestly,
why does she have sex with Rabbit and Wink? Like, what does she want from each of them? Does she like Wink? I don't get anything from her. No, Wink. Like, why does she have sex with Wink?
Wink is supposed to be getting her photo book so she can go to New York and become a supermodel.
So she's just like sleeping at the top.
That's she said that I'm doing it to get a ticket. She even says in the movie, I'm doing this to get a ticket out. And I think that she just, why not be Rabbit? I'm more like, why does he have the first girlfriend? Because none of that, who cares about the first girlfriend?
Oh, yeah, that was such a waste.
Yeah, I don't understand. Because she didn't add anything to it that somebody else didn't add. No,
he didn't even, get fired or anything from her being there. That would have been something pivotal if she showed up for the last time at work and it was the last straw or something.
But it did show his growth because, he was about to say, it isn't my fault, to his boss, but he's like, no, it won't happen again. So we're seeing growth in Rabbit's character. God, what is his name? Jimmy Smith. Yeah.
He's Rabbit. Yeah.
And then, having Kim Basinger there for the most of the movie is like, what is this all about too? So, but that's just part of his biography.
Was that his daughter or his younger sister?
That's a question, ain't it?
Is that part of the point? Like, I thought about that too. I'm like, I think
I didn't know that was a big question.
I think, I'm pretty sure she's Kim Basinger's daughter and his sister.
Yes.
But they don't say that, I don't think. Like, not that you would, I guess. I mean...
They don't say that. The closest they come is when she comes home, when Kim Basinger's character comes home drunk, and they're yelling at each other, and then he's like, you don't even care. You're not even taking care of Lily, and blah, 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 blah. And
now, I think the point for me was when he was getting beat up outside, and she's yelling Jimmy, not Daddy or anything.
Oh, was she yelling Jimmy?
When she's looking through the window and when Nicole comes out.
Yeah, you're right. And
she said she's screaming Jimmy. New World, Free World. I think it's her sister. Whatever.
Don't disrespect the free world like that.
Yeah, because you know what happens. You can
fuck the free world.
You can whisper "fuck the free world," but you cannot scream it, Cheddar Bob.
Yeah.
And what a bunch of misfits his little crew is, right?
That's so funny. Crew? I was just about to ask you the next question was who of that group is your favorite?
Oh, Brennan, why don't you go for that?
My favorite out of Eminem's crew?
Yeah.
I kind of like Future the best because Future is the one. Future is like a shield almost. Future makes me feel safe in the movie because he has power in the rap world. Like, he's the MC, so he can get people on stage, and he has authority in the world, and he lends Rabbit credibility because without the shield of Future, it's just Eminem and those other 3 loser guys, and they would be ripped to shreds by people literally and figuratively the whole movie, because even though Future himself cannot rap, he serves as as someone who like helps. He's a helpful character, and like I feel safe when he's there. I'm like, well, Eminem's not going to get shit rocked too bad because if Future's there, no one wants to mess with that. But when Future's not there, then he's going to get jumped, or something stupid's going to happen. So it's not. It's like I like what Future brings, because the other 3 guys I dislike Cheddar Bob more every time I watch it. Every time I see it, I'm like, he's a little too stupid. It was fine the first time, but he's just a little too stupid to believe sometimes.
He really is.
Sometimes it's like I kind of get it. I know that kind of guy, and then sometimes he's so extra. Yeah, that's how I feel about his crew.
Yeah, Cheddar Bob has no business in that crew. I mean, they should have said...
He has no business anywhere.
Well, I would have bought it a little bit more if he was like a cousin of somebody, like a cousin of the big guy, or, Mr., Malcolm X dude.
Well, what's the other 2 characters? The big guy is like, I want all the bitches, and then his brother is, I am a follower of my proud black brothers and sisters. Like there's 2 characters, and then Cheddar Bob, who shoots himself,
right?
and then so Future, who saves the day because he has connections.
Well, it's kind of like, what is Future doing with this crew? Because all of them are misfits. Jimmy's a misfit for...
I was trying to find a reading of the thing where Future didn't exist, and he was like some sort of hidden angel or something, but I couldn't find it. I was looking for it, because he really doesn't make sense. Why is he friends with everyone? He's frequently just him and Eminem alone. There's not a lot of times when it's actually all of them interacting together, so I was like, is there a reading of this where like Future's like who Eminem wishes he could be or something, or like it's like his dual personality, or I don't know. Is there something that there isn't, unfortunately.
Bruh, Future runs the shelter. He can't be not real.
I know. It's just because he's such a anomaly character where it doesn't make me not believe him. He still feels like a believable person. It is strange though. Future's involvement with everything is strange. It's strange he's with them. It's strange that those are his friends, and he still maintains his power at the shelter. And whoever is above him, I don't really know who decides things above Future and Free World, and like who organizes this. But
right, yeah. And also, why is that band of dudes so bad? And Michael Shannon's character is the same age as them or whatever, and he doesn't have a job or anything either, but he's
what the fuck is
he's got the check coming.
I know the check is coming from the accident, and that's why he, is the way he is or whatever, but how sometimes I look at this movie and I'm thinking, Jimmy's got a job, and also so does the big guy, Saul. He's got a job because they both have to be to work at 7:30 in the morning. But I don't know what anybody else does. Like, I don't know what the whole other crew does. Free World, New World, whatever. I don't know what any of them do.
We know Papa Doc's a poser. We know Papa Doc's a poser, and he doesn't. He's got money. He doesn't actually. He's not really hood. So we don't really know what the other guys are. But I think we're supposed to assume.
How does he hide that from everybody? How does that become like a rap battle stick? Because all of a sudden, everybody in the whole place is like, "Oh, his name is Clarence. His parents are married. He went to a private school."
I never knew that was in the movie before, at the one innocuous party scene where like the one girl is like, "Oh, Papa Doc, you mean Clarence?
You mean Clarence?
Yeah. He goes to he's my cousin or something. He goes to Cranbrook. He's not
my cousin goes to Cranbrook with him.
Yeah, and Eminem hears it for a second, and it kind of like the music kind of like tunes out for a second, and then it goes back to normal conversation. And then those are the moments where I'm like, oh, this is actually like a movie. Like, this isn't just like things around a couple rap battles. There's actually there's a little bit of care in here, and like the actual
it is. And I noticed before that, this time while I was watching, because I don't watch it as a whole movie either. I see it, when it comes on. But before that, they even predicated that where the part where they're driving along in the car and they're doing the paintball thing, and the car stops, and He's trying to fix the car, and all the other guys are standing off to the side, and they're talking about his mom and how hot she is and everything.
Yeah.
And he's like, yo, man, stop talking about my mom. And he goes, I hear everything. And then a little bit later on, we find out that he's listening to this girl who's talking about Clarence and Cranbrook and all that. So it really is a movie. I mean, Curtis Hanson, the director, makes movies. So
well, yeah, but I looked him up.
that
He makes like
R.I.P.
He's
But
a
he's made
R.I.P.
movies.
But he was a workman director. He wasn't an auteur. He made stuff.
Yeah.
Like, you know, good for him. I mean, LA Confidential. People
There's
like that
something
movie.
for everybody out there.
He made In Her Shoes right after this, and I love that movie.
I looked at this thing. I'm like, the stuff most of it I either hadn't heard of, and the stuff I'd seen, I'm like, I don't like that as much as most people do. What was the one where there was one where it was about like a writer, and like he made it before this one. His stuff was
LA Confidential.
No, not LA Confidential. After LA Confidential, Choir Boys, not Choir Boys. It's like something like that though. Charity Boys, Singer Boys, whatever. It doesn't matter. Wonder Boys might be Wonder Boys. It's not good.
That sounds right. Yeah, so I don't know if I have a favorite of that crew. It's definitely I used to like Cheddar Bob because I thought he was funny, and then the more it goes on, I was like, he's just not. It's just too much.
He's too stupid. He's too stupid,
and he brings them to the brink of failure
it doesn't
so
really
many
fit
times.
in with the rest of the style of movie for me either.
Yeah.
That's another thing is like after like Eminem was like in like his like rapping career, his second half he was kind of funny. He was always a little funny, like he had like humor. There's not really any. I mean, there's a little bit of humor in between stuff, but like it's actually a lot less humorous than you would think based on the kind of stuff Eminem makes now. Or
no,
I guess
it's
it
pretty
doesn't make a lot anymore, but
kind of gritty, like
yeah,
the movie
I think
itself.
this would be a drama.
Yeah, I would have expected a little more levity. I mean, there's levity with the crew in between stuff, but you know, for the most part, it's pretty gritty and not like it's kind of a detrimental piece sometimes. I kind of wish it was a little lighter sometimes, but it's probably more realistic that way.
No, I don't. I like it being gritty.
I got what? So he never gets revenge on not revenge, but he never faces. What was it, Little Tick? Is that the guy he lost to originally? Because that's the thing is he freezes in the original battle, and then at the end he makes Papa Doc freeze, and that's like the story coming full circle. Because his rap is he steals all the things that they could say about him by insulting himself to make it self-deprecating. And then hit him with the Cranbrook punch, and then that's gonna put away Papa Doc. But he never was other guy part of Free World, the first guy he lost to, Lil Tick. I don't remember seeing him again because we see Lickety Split and Papa and Lotto hang out with Free World. They're Free World guys,
right?
But
yeah, but he also battled them in the end. He battled all Free World.
I know, but Lil Tick just humiliated them and gets away with it. You never Lil Tick is 1-0 in this movie.
But I don't see it that way. I don't see Little Tick just came off as like generic basic rapper, and what happened, I don't think that's what put Rabbit down. I think his own chaos in his head and not being able to like just, you know,
it's true, but like, why not just replace Lickety or Lotto with Lil Tick, so that way you could at least have like, you know, his comeback.
Apparently, Lil Tick had troubles making it to set, so that's
Proof, the guy who played him.
Yeah, but he wasn't.
I didn't not know about that.
Proof and Eminem were buddies, and so I think that they used him as much as they could. In this movie. He
had a lot of buddies that in his old group, and they are not easy to do. They were never going to be Hollywood types. They were incongruous.
I mean, it is impressive because he's in this movie. Eminem is in like this movie. This is his movie. He's in like all the shots, and I think that it's crazy that he, you know, it seems like it was heavy, like it was a lot to do. It's a lot to carry for somebody who's not an actor. And I think he did a really good job at it. I guess it's, you know, it's easier when you know the music. I'm sure he was like he did the soundtrack and everything, so he had a lot. There was a lot. He had a lot to say about what was going on, I'm sure. But still, to do that and still have what came out as, I don't know. It's an enjoyable film for me, obviously.
I have a question. Do you find this film to be kind of the predecessor to our most recent movie autobiography music films, like
Elvis,
the Queen one and the Rocket Man? I mean, do you see this in the same category, or do you find this more just to be a scripted something that happens to align with Eminem's life?
I think this is very different. Those are like, because those things are like, one, the person who is portraying the main character is not them. It is someone playing the real them, whereas this is Eminem playing a fictionalized version of himself. So it would be, like if Elvis played Elvis in a movie, in 1975
so
about
meta.
him being younger. Yeah, and then, but like he didn't play Elvis, he played like
John Smith.
He played some other knockoff version of Elvis, but it was clearly Elvis, and then he changed a few things about his life and made it. That would be more like this. I'm trying to think of another contemporary example where like the lead character is like they do it more with like
there really are.
They do it more with like I feel like comedians will do it. Like a comedian will do a movie where like I'm playing like a fictionalized comedian, and then like Mike Birbiglia does that
stupid shit.
Yeah, a lot of Louis done that.
She is a train wreck. That was an aptly named film.
Trainwreck, there you go. Yeah,
Didn't see it.
I don't think she's a comedian in that. I mean, where like they play like as close to them as possible. An actor plays like a real life version of themselves. Nicolas Cage, there we go. Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. That's more close to this to me, just because it's them playing like even though the tones are way different. The biopics are much more like a big production of like, remember their epic life. Like this isn't really that. This is extremely unepic. I forgot that I really love the ending of this movie. The ending is great. Yes. He wins the rap battle, and then they're like, let's go celebrate. He says, I gotta go back to work. And then he just walks back to work. And that's the end of the movie. Right. And then his song plays. I'm like, that's great. Like it built up to him winning the rap battle, like redeeming himself for himself. And then he's like, I still gotta go back. I still need to, do a job. I don't really have anything else going. I like that ending. I like that there wasn't like a big contract at the end. He didn't get discovered. There was no one died. He just went back to work after he won the battle.
Well, yeah.
I forgot about that ending.
And then who would he like, he has these two guys that are sort of, trying to ride his coattails to success. For some reason, it's this one white kid that is going to make these other two guys that's going to make their whole thing. And
going to make whose whole thing? Future or
Future. Wink. I mean, Future, both of them, they're both like, I'm taking you. They're like, I'm going to have this huge conglomerate and I'm taking you with me. What else do you have? Like, I know that Wink did have somebody before him or somebody before Rabbit that he had helped out or whatever. But I mean, Future's big thing is like, man, now you've made it. You can come host with me at the shelter.
Yeah, that's the bait.
And I'd be like, at that point, if I were him, I'd be like, I mean, Future, you're my guy and everything, but Wink actually has thoughts about doing something big, and you just want to be, the biggest guy in the smallest pool.
You're chasing Wink. You're chasing Wink's big all talk.
I'm not chasing him. I'm just saying that there's these two things that are happening. And well, I mean, what would you do if you knew that the biggest place you were going to get if you succeeded 100% was co-hosting at the shelter or a possibility of doing something else?
If I didn't have to move back into my mom's house, I would have never met up with the guy again to begin with. That's the only reason he was walking down the street and saw he was home. Was he even going to tell him about this deal that he had?
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, that's why it's like it's hard to trust Wink. It sounds like Wink has been saying he's going to do stuff and then doesn't do stuff before. Whereas Future's offering you,
he was around.
Yeah, and Future's offering you something that like is real because he does it, but like no, it's not fancy, but it's the difference between like, is this actually going to happen kind of thing.
Well, I don't think that the alternative is to go host the fucking rap nights.
No, and that's the thing is the end of this also reminds me that this character, even though it's very Eminem's life, it's not him. But Rabbit isn't Eminem because Rabbit doesn't get discovered. He just yeah, exactly. Rabbit's maybe who he would have been if he didn't make it. He just kind of went back to work, which we
don't know. We don't. I mean, we only know that that's the end of this movie, but we don't know if that was...
this is one rap battle.
I know, it really, like, there's nothing that leads you to believe there's more to the story. There's just kind of like Brittany Murphy's going to New York, right? And, like, Free World's been humiliated. There's no threads really.
Life goes on.
Come back. Yeah, Wink's been defeated or whatever. Wink picked the wrong side, which I don't even know if that's really true, because Wink could still theoretically get his deal through with the Free World guys. Is that what he's trying to do, I guess, by hanging out with them now? Like, does he think that...
I don't know, because during the last rap battle, Wink is there, and he's like, as soon as, Rabbit wins, he gives Rabbit that look like, yeah, man, I knew you were the real deal. I knew you could do it,
bullshit. Yeah, that's what Wink's full of shit. Also, all right, so we're getting towards the end, but, like, why is the Tupac line so devastating to people? Why is the crowd so... I don't get it. I don't get that line. I don't get the 1, 2, 3 to the 4. I get that's from the song, and he goes 1 pack, 2 pack, 3, and he does that and it takes up a lot of time, and he ends with he's pack, your pack, none, and I'm like, oh, everyone's like, oh my god, he destroyed him. I'm like, but what's the joke? I don't get it. Why is that so good?
I don't know. I mean, he also killed him with the halfway crook line, which I didn't realize. I've never seen this movie with subtitles on, so this time I had subtitles on. So during the beginning of the movie, the song was playing. They set that up, and I didn't realize that, because this whole time I was like, I don't get why this is such a big deal. But then I realized that this is something that everybody knows, and but that's kind of cheating in rap a little bit, isn't it? To make that obvious of a reference, and then then for people to be, have that same reaction with, oh, that killed him.
It's so long too. It's a long bit, and it's in the final one, which the rest of the rap is so good and like actually like referencing things where like, oh, that's perfect. But like, I think I scoured for a reference earlier in the movie as to why he would give that long Tupac diss, and I don't get it. Like, I'm just like, is it just that they're posers? Is that it? Like, are they pretend they're Tupac impersonators?
Well, did you look at the Reddit thread from 9 years ago about it?
Is that what the answer is?
Sounds like Nicole has some information.
One of the top replies says, basically he's saying everyone compares themselves to Tupac when nobody's comparable to Tupac. Even though some freestyles don't make sense, this certainly does. The first line is a reference to Nothing But a G Thing by Dre and Snoop, where they count the same way to build a climax.
Oh, we don't know enough.
That's what I said. I 1, 2, 3 into the 4.
Because...
Nope, Nicole.
Sorry, good.
Keep going.
Because to that time, there were a lot of imitators in his lifestyle and name. Since they're just a bunch of wannabes... This guy's a gangster, his real name's Clarence. M counts them to that group. He even calls every single one of them out and says they're nothing like Tupac, they're ones and zeros. So there you go.
It's okay.
That sounds stretchy a little bit. And I
don't love it. This guy's a gangster. His real name's Clarence. That's a great. This guy's a gangster. His real name's Clarence is the best. And then it leads into, and Clarence's parents have a real good marriage. That's the best. Yeah. You hear like a girl like squeal laugh in the background when that happens, and that's one of my favorite bits. So she's like, "Oh, you got him real good." I love it.
Well, because that's actually the part where you'd be like, "Oh, this is too much and too far." Yeah. I think the second battle with Lotto is also very good, because he plays off a lot of the battle. The thing is, with the third one, there's no, Clarence doesn't come back at him. So there's none of that back and forth. But with the second one, he turns everything around on Lotto, which I like.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I really, there's something about that one that that I really liked.
Lotto's battle is also good because Lotto's not bad, because Lotto's kind of decent. Lotto's got charisma.
He's okay,
and
yeah.
he's got, where, like, Lickety is a tool. Like, Lickety, like, his words are okay, but, like, his delivery sucks, and, like, he is a tool, and, like, everyone thinks he's a tool. Like, he's never gonna win. And when he does the lickety shots perspicuity little fucking thing he does, that, like, it's done at that point.
Right.
Whereas Lotto has actually got some decent stuff, and, like, his stage presence is decent.
Yeah, and you didn't know at the time who was going to win. Was it going to be Lotto? Was it going to be Rabbit? They went back and forth.
I know. I was on the edge of my seat.
Future kept pumping it until finally B won. It's like,
what happens if it's Lotto versus Papa Doc? What is that battle? Like, because aren't they on the same side? Like, why would they? What are they going to say?
Maybe it's over at that point. Maybe it's just like Free World won. Papa Doc doesn't have to come up and rap. So he doesn't even rap except for in the very, very beginning. And I don't see that, when you're watching on TV, you don't see that very much. And I forgot, I was like, I don't even ever remember Papa Doc rapping. And then, but he does in the very beginning when they're.
I don't think Papa Doc's even that good in his verse that we hear. It's that he's aggressive.
I don't think so either.
He's threatening. That's why he's the leader, because he has.
Yeah.
But we know it's all an act because he's Clarence. He went to Cranbrook.
Yeah, but he appears very mean. He comes across as very
he puts
mean.
It on. He puts it on. But I love it. It's a good Anthony Mackie performance. When he gets Cranbrooked at the end, he deflates. Yeah. You see the look in his eye just deflate, because he just lost all his material because he did his self diss, and then he says, "But I know something about you," and then he just is fucking gone.
Yeah, he's like,
it's
wait,
really
what?
good. It's really well done, actually.
Is that Mackie's first movie? I don't know.
I don't think it was his first.
I mean, he's young, but yeah.
We didn't mention what's her name is the ex-girlfriend too from the beginning. She's
Taryn Manning.
Taryn Manning. Yeah, she's from Orange Is the New Black. Is that what she's in?
Yep. Yeah. Kind of the same character a little bit. Like, I don't know. I thought she was
20 years later.
She does good at playing that character.
I don't know. I just felt that whole character was worthless. And even the part where, he like Bunny Rabbit drives by her house or her apartment or whatever at one point after the whole thing with Wink and Alex.
She's just sitting there.
She's just sitting. Yeah, I'm like, what is this? Why are we doing this? I don't understand what we're doing. I mean, having the whole part with the trailer park and everything. You know what part I really like and I forgot about is when the car's not working and Future comes over and Rabbit and Future are working on the car and Greg is inside listening to Southern Rock, Sweet Home Alabama. Yeah, and they twist it up into living at home in the trailer. Yeah, that's when he comes out. He's like, he's something wrong with him, man, or he's like, he was in an accident.
It's very strange that Michael Shannon in real life, younger than Eminem, does not look like it.
No, he's not.
Michael Shannon's 48, Eminem's 49.
I that doesn't compute with me at all.
Yeah, because in this movie, Michael Shannon's supposed to be a couple years older in quotations, and I'm like, that's Michael Shannon. He looks, 34, and Eminem looks, in his early 20s. But no, Michael Shannon's like, what, 20? He's like 28 in this movie, and Eminem would have been like 29.
Holy cow! Michael Shannon though has always just looked like Michael Shannon, then, right?
Yeah, he's always looked like that. He
always looks old.
Big, imposing dude. What did you think about Kim Basinger in this movie? I mean, she was Oscar winning at this point, I think. So
that's fine. I don't know. I don't think it's particularly. It's not. There's actually not as much of her as I remember either. I mean, she's not really. I bet her screen time's got to be like 6 minutes, like 6 to 10 minutes. Like she's really not in it very much. I don't think.
Probably 8 minutes for 8 Mile.
Yeah.
No, but yeah, I don't know.
What else you got, Nicole? Anything?
No.
Why
was
does
it everything you hoped it would
movie?
be after your host pick?
I think that we've exhausted all the things in this movie now.
But tell me, I need to know why I like this movie so much.
I think you like the music.
I do like the music.
That I don't know. I mean, you don't seem like the type of person that would be totally invested in all movies that revolve around trailer parks and things, so I'm not sure. But I think it's the music.
Also, could they have gotten rid of the part about the empty house and the girl, and that was weird too, right?
See, yeah,
that's the problem with a lot of this. There's a lot of that. There's a lot of like stuff that you forget.
Let's be an hour and a half and call it a day, like a normal 2002 movie.
Or add another rap battle. That would, okay, so this just told me right then why I like this movie is because I clearly like rap battles. So
yeah. What else do you like in this? Probably the lunch truck rap battle. With
I love the lunch truck. I love when they take down Exhibit.
They're just Exhibit?
Yeah, that's Exhibit.
Yeah.
I fucking love Exhibit.
Yeah, it is. With the cornrows too tight.
Yeah. So yeah, you just want to watch rap battles. That's not really.
I do just want to watch rap. I just want to watch people get taken down. Don't pick on Paul. Don't pick on Homegirl.
The rest of the movie is whatever. I'm making a deal. I'm steal your girl. Get out of the streets. Life's hard.
I'm gonna ride the bus while people stare at me.
Yeah, this is
Oh my god! Why was that person so creepily staring?
I freaking love that scene though, because they go back to that person. Like it's like he sees him looking at it. I don't know her looking at him, and then they go back to it, and I'm like, okay, this is funny.
Jeez Louise,
I like it.
I didn't remember it, but at one point when he's writing his lyrics, he has that like sketchbook where he like does his lyrics and he does his raps. He puts everything down. And at one point when he's writing his stuff, it's playing the beat.
Mom's spaghetti.
Yeah, it's playing the beat to Lose Yourself. But then it's not playing the lyrics though.
It's just a couple of the. It's the word. Oh my god, it's the lyrics like going in and out as he's writing it in his mind.
Yeah, it's like a couple words at a time. It'll be like, dun, dun,
it
Mom's spaghetti, and then nothing for like a while, and then drop bombs, and then it just keeps going. Lose yourself, and then it keeps going on, but it doesn't ever like do the whole thing. It just does little pieces. I'm like, it's kind of choppily edited too, so you kind of hear like the last word he said before. I'm like. It's a little. I'm like, this is a little sloppy for like a 20-year-old movie.
Mom's spaghetti.
They're not chopping with shears like they were in the 30s. Like this is, this should be cleaned up a little. But it's
wait. Did Lose Yourself come out as it? Oh, it did. Because
the
it was
soundtrack
an Oscar-winning song. It came out on the. Yeah, it wasn't out before that though, right? It was for this movie.
No, I don't. Yeah, I don't think this was. I don't think it predated. Like Eminem had just come on the scene a couple years before. Like. Gotten big a couple years before this. I think he was. Yeah. This would have been like his complete burst through to mainstream. I think he probably would have been only a couple years into being even moderately known.
There's something about him.
That's why people remember this movie. That's the song, and then the rap battles. I'm sure that 10 minutes has all the views on YouTube, and then maybe like the lunch truck one, and then that's probably like it. And then maybe there's this Kim Basinger supercut because she won the Oscar, but that's kind of what's going on here
for this movie.
No.
Yeah, she didn't win. Did she get nominated? What did she?
No, she had an Oscar before this movie.
Oh, I thought you just said she got nominated for this. I'm like, that surprises.
No, the song was the Oscar winner for this movie, but she was an Oscar winner before this.
Oh, I thought you said she was nominated for this. Oh, well, that makes more sense now. That's why I was confused. I was like, she was? Like, for this? She's fine.
No.
But, like...
I think she won for... Was it LA Confidential?
Maybe. I don't like that. So I don't really get that movie. I don't know what people see in that. It's very mediocrely put here. All right, I recommend this, I guess. It's good. It's about what I just said. So, it's what I just said. That's what I think.
Okay.
Nicole, you recommending this?
Oh, yeah, I think it holds up still. I think it's still fun. Mm-hmm.
Still? You haven't seen it before?
20 years later, still fun.
I mean, yeah, 20-year-old movie. I don't know how often I say it still holds
That's
up.
True.
There's only a few movies that I like past the year 1990, so...
Like Jumanji. Oh, no, that's 1996.
I was thinking more Grease, but...
Oh, that's right. And then, I think sounds like she recommends. She likes this movie. Even though
I don't understand why
a lot
anybody...
of problems.
Yeah, but I don't understand why anybody wouldn't ever love this movie. I really don't. This is a gem to me.
Why anyone wouldn't love it?
I don't know why people wouldn't love it. It's just, I mean, sure, you can fast forward.
I guess if you don't love the rap battles, because if you don't love the rap battles, there's nothing to this movie for most people.
What is wrong with you then?
Mr. Snyder like this movie?
Mr. Snyder does not like this movie.
Well,
this is, although he'll sit and watch the rap battles.
He doesn't care about rap battles.
Yeah, that's probably the only part that he'll sit and listen to. So yeah, I mean, and there are things that we say in our house from this movie. So yeah,
this is it. This is in the vernacular. This
it is.
Says, yeah.
Griffin screaming, "Mom, spaghetti."
That's what we do.
No, it's actually something we didn't mention, which is the BEDTIME song. New Detroit Stamping. Yeah, we just say that in the house. New Detroit Stamping.
He's sick and tired of New Detroit Stamping. That's we do have that does come up.
We do the lunch truck stuff a little bit.
What's that song? I don't remember how it goes. What does he say to her?
She starts it. She's like, "Man, Vanessa. I'm sick and tired of this food at this lunch truck at New Detroit."
I thought you were talking about the song when he's putting Lily to sleep.
Oh, the BEDTIME song. Yeah, that happens at our house.
Well, how does that go?
He comes in and he says something like, "I know a girl. Her name is Lily. She's da 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 da," and now it's BEDTIME.
I remember that from this watch. That one never stuck with me between all the musical stuff of the bedtime.
I think it sticks with Griffin. I think your brother probably has it more in his head because this was 2002. He was
when you say that
4 years old.
All I can think of is the actual Eminem song "Mockingbird."
Yeah, the part that's where it's the actual
lullaby that he's changed, and that's all I can think of when you say that.
Is that a bad thing?
No, I think that just shows that Eminem really resonates with people.
Clearly me.
With you, I guess, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so thank you, Nicole, for 8 Mile. I think this was a nice...
Yeah, thanks, Nicole.
I think you have the most crowd-pleasing host picks, typically, as far as...
I like to please a crowd.
You do. You have good crowd pleasing host picks. So we've got Beast. Idris Elba's gonna fight a lion. We're gonna talk about that. And then we got. I filled the schedule out the other day, and I've got to say, it is a nice looking 4 months we got coming up here. It is a juicy schedule.
For who?
For all of us. We'll be watching. We'll be watching. I think I have the whole schedule the rest of the year filled out right now. So hopefully more stuff doesn't get announced.
We'll be watching movies.
That's right. It's time. There's no more. We're no more slacking around. Yeah.
TIME.
It's TIME. So Films with the Women in My Life on Facebook. Reach out to me on Instagram. I'm Brennan_podhost. And you can email
You're trying to wrap it. Please stop.
No, I'm just getting aggressive with it, like popping up.
I am Brennan_godhost.
Email the show, filmswiththewomen@gmail.com. And that's it. Thank you for picking that, Nicole. It was a nice time.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, thanks, Nicole.
Bye.
Until next time, this is Brennan signing off, saying thanks for listening and enjoy your movies.
Thanks for listening to Films with the Women in My Life. If you enjoyed being a listener in our life, please rate and subscribe on Apple Podcasts or on your favorite podcast app. Keep up with the latest from the show on Instagram at Brennan_podhost, on Facebook at Films with the Women in My Life, and on Twitter at FilmsWomenPod. Finally, you can email the show with questions and suggestions at filmswiththewomen@gmail.com. Original music for the show was created by Ian Burke and Chris Iwanek. Original artwork created by Nicole D'Alessio. This show is produced by Brennan Snyder. Thank you again for listening and enjoy your movies.